So let's continue. Okay, so let's start. So see right now, since there is no table inside this register database, so it's showing empty set, right? So we need to create a table. Okay, so let's create a table here. So how will create a table? We'll write create. Okay, then we need to create a table here. So create table, and then after that we have to write by which name, means the name of the table. We have to write the name of a table here. So I'll go with student. Okay, okay, this is the table name that I am giving here. Create table is student. Okay, and then after that you have to mention what way, means what will be the columns inside this student table. Okay, so inside this, what variables we will be using, we'll be using id. Okay, and then we have to mention a data type. I'll be using id as integer. Okay, and then the next thing is I'll auto increment it. So auto increment. Okay, and then I'll make it primary key also. So primary key. Okay, and I also told you that this primary key cannot be null, so I'll be writing not null. Okay, because the primary key column, this id column can never be null. Okay, then only we can make it as a primary key. Okay, so that is why I'm writing this id int auto increment, because I want auto increment that after one it will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this. Id should increase when I add the data inside it. Okay, and I'm setting it as a primary key, so it all the values, all the id column values will be changed, means will be different. Okay, will not be same. And then I'm making it not null because id cannot be null here. Okay, there has to be some id. So after that we can separate it by comma, and then the next thing. So after id, what the next things we require? We require first name, so f underscore name. Okay, and then after that we have to use a variable here. Okay, this is of varchar. Okay, then we need to mention the size, so I'll go with 50. Okay, so f name will be of 50 characters. This means, okay, this varchar means that this many characters can be given to this f name column. Okay, so I'm giving it 50, you can give it 100 or 200, it's up to you. Okay, if if you will type larger name greater than these 50 characters, then you will get error that it is too long. Okay, so you can change it according to your size. Then separated by comma, then next thing, that is last name. Okay, see here, if I show you, I minimize this window, and if I run this, not this one, main one. Yeah, so if I run this window, you see first name, last name, contact, email, security question, answer, password. Okay, and for confirm password I'll not create it. Okay, I'll not create any column for confirm password because the password and confirm password will have same values. Okay, so we have to create total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 columns, and actually it will be 8 columns because we are also adding id there, right? So total there are 8 columns, so we have to create 8 columns. So first is id, then first name, then last name. So last name varchar, I am also giving it a 50 value. Okay, then after that, if I see here, so first name, last name, then we have contact, then email. Okay, so comma contact. Okay, varchar. Okay, so since contact can have only 10 values, okay, because or you can give any value. It's up to you, because the number have 10 digits only, so that is why I'm giving 10 value. Okay, next thing is, after varchar, after contact we have email. So I have to create an email column also. So varchar, okay, for email I'll give maybe 100 characters. And after email, then what next? We have security question, then answer, and then password. Okay, so I'll write it question. Okay, and this will also be a varchar variable, variable character, and how many characters? I'll pass 100. Okay, then next is the answer, varchar, and here also I'm providing 100. Similarly, last one is password. Okay, and password I'm going to provide is maybe 50, or you can keep it 100. It's up to you. Okay, I told you, if you'll keep low values, what will happen. Okay, so just after providing this, okay, so we have written this command, create table. Okay, create table student. So the name of the table will be student, and these will be the columns. Okay, so first thing is ID. I have auto incremented it, then I have used a primary key. Okay, so this ID is now a primary key. Then I have kept it not null. Okay, so it will not have any values, null values. Okay, then first name with 50 characters, or you can change it to 100, be on a safer side. Oh, I've removed that. Shit. I have to write it again, I think. I have removed that. Shit. Sorry, I have to write it again. So create table student. Okay, ID int auto increment primary key not null, comma, then f name varchar, red, then l name, then what next was there? So first name, contact, email. Okay, contact, and then email, so after email, next thing is security question, and then answer. Okay, so this is question. 100, and then answer varchar characters. Then after that, password varchar. Okay, so we have written this query, and then semicolon, then enter. Okay, so this query is completed. Now if I will write show tables. Okay, So now we have this student table here. Okay, if you want to see the description of it, so you have to write description student, okay, semicolon. Okay, so this is the description here. See here we have set it to no, means the null values cannot be accepted here. Okay, then I have made it a primary key, and then I have auto incremented it, right? So this is how you have to create your table, right? So we have created our table. Next thing is that we have to, because right now if I try to see what is inside in my table, select star from student, so you will see nothing. Okay, empty set, right? Because we haven't added any data right now. Okay, so you can simply write a query here that you want to insert some data. Okay, you can simply write a query here if you want to insert any data. Okay, but I do not want to write any query right now here, actually. Okay, but it's very easy. You can simply write insert into student. Okay, student values, then in this you have to pass all the values. Okay, the first name, the last name, everything. Okay, but I do not want to give like this. Okay, so I have created this table. I'm simply going to minimize it. Now I'm going to code further in this project, right? So after checking this condition, elif condition, the next thing is that if all these condition fails, means this one means user has entered everything correctly, so this condition will be false. Okay, we'll move to this one. If user has entered both the password, confirm password same, so this condition will again false. And then this one, if you have checked the check button, then this condition will also be false. And then we will move to the else part, right? The last one, else part. Okay, inside this else, now we are going to connect with our database. Okay, so for connecting with our database, we require a driver here. Okay, that driver is known as PyMySQL. Okay, PyMySQL. So how you can load that data? So for right now, just I'm going to pass it. Okay, so how we can load that data means how we can download that module which will be required to connect with our database. So you just have to go to this file, then go to the settings here. Okay, so once you are in settings, you will go to this project. Okay, with the folder name which you must have given here. Okay, after that you have to go to this project interpreter and see I have already downloaded this PyMySQL, so it's showing in this list here. Okay, then next thing is you have to click on this plus icon, install. Okay, and here you have to search for PyMySQL like this. Oh, it's PyMySQL. Okay, PyMySQL is happening. Yeah, so this one, this blue which you see, just click on this and click on this install package. Okay, so it's written in the description, pure Python MySQL driver. Okay, so you have to download this. Okay, so after click on you'll click on this install package, it will be downloaded in 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, so I hope till here everyone understood. Okay, now after downloading it, next thing is we need to import it. So how to import it? We will simply write import PyMySQL. Okay, that's it. So let's write it. I hope everyone have installed it. So PyMySQL. Okay, import PyMySQL. Okay, now it's imported. So in the else part, what we will do, firstly we will connect with the database. Okay, so let's connect with the database. So how we will be connecting? We will be writing PyMySQL dot connect. Okay, so this PyMySQL module has a connect method. Okay, which will help us to connect with the database. And here we have to pass all the information. So first of all, the host here. Okay, so host here for all the systems, you guys will be you guys are on a local host, so you have to simply write here localhost. Okay, so this is the host name. Okay, next thing is the user. User is the generally when you install the setup, they ask you for user and password. So if you have not given any user there, so by default it must be root. Okay, but I have given some username. So see, if you will give username, so you will have two username. One is root, that is by default. Another one that you must have given. So I've given Faizan also, and root will be by default. So I can use root also and this Faizan also username. Next thing is the password. Okay, password here. So password that I have given is 1234. Okay, this is the password. Please guys don't misuse it. Okay, if you can. Next is after this user and password, then we have to name the database with which we want to connect. Okay, so I told you there are so many databases that I have created. If I'll write employee2, so I will be connected with employee2. Okay, but the database that I have just now created is this register, right? So I'll be connecting with register database. Okay, so this is the database name, and make sure you keep it in a form of a string. Okay, so I'm firstly connecting with the database that is register. Okay, you can connect with any database, it's up to you. Okay, but make sure you have those columns there which I have just created. Okay, now this will return the object and we will store it in any variable con. Okay, so this con is a variable name. Next thing is to execute any of the commands. Okay, we require a cursor. Okay, so cursor is a method of this connect method, PyMySQL. Okay, so I'll write con dot cursor. Okay, con dot cursor. So this cursor will store it in any variable cur. Okay, whatever this will return, this will basically return a pointer. That pointer will be used to execute our queries. Okay, so this cur will now be used to execute our queries. Okay, so after doing this, the next thing is we have to execute. So I'm going to write cur dot execute, and what I have to execute, I have to execute this in the form of a string. Okay, select star from the table name was student, right? The table name just I created was student. So select star from student where email equals to %s. Okay, so email will have this value %s, which I'll be just going to do it. So this %s is basically a formatted string. Okay, %s, and after that which this %s will be replaced with the value that I am writing just after this comma. Okay, so I'm going to write entry email dot get. Okay, so whatever you are getting from the entry email, that will be replaced here. Okay, what I'm doing here is that I'm simply checking that the username, whatever things username has typed inside this form. Okay, I'm checking this column, this email one. Okay, I'm checking if this email already exists in our database or not. If this email already exists in our database, then we will be displaying an error message that user already exists, right? So that is why I am executing this query. Okay, so select star from student where email equals to, so we will select all the columns of this email. Okay, means all the rows of this email column. Okay, after that what we'll do, we will get a row. Okay, we will get a row here. Row equals to cur dot fetch one. Okay, what this will do, this will simply return a row. This will simply return a row if this is true. Okay, first thing, this will be executed, so this will display something on your screen. Okay, the emails, right? And I will simply select a row which user has typed. Okay, means if I just tell you that Dia, the first email ID that I use was dia@gmail.com. Okay, so we dia@gmail.com, that will be displayed there. Okay, that row will be fetched and will be stored inside this row variable. Okay, inside this row variable. Okay, if row variable, if this row is not equals to none, if this row is not equals to none, then we will simply show error. Okay, so message box dot show error. I'll be just explaining this once more. So error, and the message is user already exists. Okay, so what is happening here? If row is not equals to none, if row is not equals to none, means there is some row with this particular email ID. Okay, so if there is some row with that particular email ID that we received inside this variable, and we will simply checking if this is not equals to none, so we will simply display that that user already exists in our database. Okay, so we are selecting columns from this student table where email is that email which you are entering on the registration form. Okay, if that is returned, means if that column is returned and will be stored inside this row. Okay, that complete row, and if that row has that email. Okay, so if this is not equals to none, means there is that particular email, and then we will be simply displayed with this message. Okay, that user already exists. Okay, so for now in this database there are no emails already existing, so whatever you will create, this condition will not be true first time. Okay, first time this condition will not be true. Okay, so what we will do, we will simply move to the else part. In the else part, okay, else, if means there is nothing inside this row. Okay, that means the user is writing the email for the first time. Okay, if there is nothing inside this row variable, so means the user is writing something for the first time, that particular email. Okay, then we will move to the else part here. Okay, and in the else part, what we will be doing here is we will simply be executing a command to insert. Okay, cur dot execute. Okay, so we are using this cursor to execute our commands. Okay, these commands we would have written directly in our database, but since we are connecting it with Python, that is why we are writing all these commands here. Okay, and here what we have to write, we have to insert. Okay, means the user have written a unique email ID, right? So in that case the else part will execute, and in the else part what we are going to do, we are simply going to insert into this student table, this student table, and what we will insert, we will insert values. Okay, so here what we need to insert, we need to insert first name. Okay, we will insert first name, comma L name, that is last name. Okay, then email, then contact. Okay, and then question, after that answer, answer, and then password. Okay, F name, L name, then email, then contact, or I think contact is first, then we have email, right? If I run this, it will not be able to run right now. So let me just check this one. Yeah, so contact is first, then we have email. So what I'll do, I'll simply change here. So we will change it to email, and email will change to contact. Okay, so these are all the names, and then we have to add values. Okay, so let me add values here, and values we will be using percent %s. Okay, for all these, percent %s comma percent %s comma percent %s. Okay, so this way we'll be doing. So how many are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, so we'll be creating 7% %s. So these are basically formatted strings. Okay, these percent %s will be replaced with these values. Okay, so the percent %s 336, then comma percent %s. Okay, so percent %s, we got this. Okay, next thing is that after entering this, we will be entering all the names here, comma. Okay, then we will be entering the names here. Okay, so first of all we will get the first name, this F name we will get from this entry first name variable. Okay, dot get. Okay, entry first name dot get. Okay, so this value will be represented whatever user will enter here. Okay, first name dot get. Okay, similarly we have to do for other. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this to a new line, and here I'll be entering all the names here. So entry first name dot get, then after that entry last name dot get. Okay, then we have contact, entry contact dot get. Okay, then after that entry contact, we have combo box, combo question dot get. Okay, so after entry we have actually email, right? So email, entry email dot get. Okay, then let's move to a new line. After email, then we have combo box. Okay, then after that the answer, entry answer dot get, and then we have the password. So password, entry password dot get. Okay, so what I am doing here, I am simply inserting into this student table. What I am inserting, I am inserting values. Okay, and that values, these percent s will be replaced with these values that we will get from these entry fields. Okay, so whatever values you will give in these entry fields, that will be inserted at these positions, these columns of that particular table, student table. Okay, insert into student, and whatever values that I'll be inserting, so these formatted percent s will be replaced with these values, whichever you will enter in these particular entry fields, right? So I hope you understood what query we have written here. I hope everyone have studied this MySQL. If not, then it's very simple. Okay. So after writing this complete thing, then what we have to do, we have to simply commit. So we'll be writing pond.commit. Okay. So that this query should be executed. This insert query. So to execute this insert, if I want to insert anything, we have to write dot commit method. Okay. So this will help us in inserting that, and then pond.close. Okay, we will simply close our database. Okay, and then what I'll do, I'll simply display a message box after closing it that show info. I'll simply show information. So first thing is title, so I'll write success here instead of success. Okay, and then I'll write a message that registration is successful. Registration is successful, right? Registration is successful. Okay, so let's just run this now and see if we are getting any kind of errors or not. Okay, so I'm running this one. Okay, so let's enter a name here. So there is nothing inside that particular table right now. Okay, so we are entering the first thing. Okay, so let me write a name. Okay, I don't know the surname, maybe digital. Okay, then we have any contact number, and make sure only 10 digits will be should be there because we have given the size as 10 characters. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, and then any email like tanmay@gmail.com. Okay, then I have to select a security question here. So your best friend name, my name. Okay, and then the password here, I'm setting it 123, and here also I have to set the same password, otherwise I'll get error. And also I have to check this terms and conditions, otherwise I'll get error. So I'm checking it and I'm clicking register now. Nothing has happened. Why? This didn't work. Got error. Yeah. So what is the error? Yeah, so what we are going to do here, we will be keeping everything in try and accepting. Okay, so I'll simply keep it in try. Okay, so in the cells part, I'll keep this thing complete in a try block. Okay, so I'll simply give some indentation. So I'm pressing tab key here. So I've provided an indentation here. Okay, next thing is that I have to write accept also because I've used try here. So after this successful message that registration is successful, then we will do accept condition here. Okay, so just below this try, right? So in this accept exception as e, so whatever exception is, I'll accept that as e variable. So that exception will be inside this e variable, and inside this e variable I'll simply show a message box dot show error. Okay, and the title will be error here, and then I'll be simply displaying whatever is inside this e variable. Okay, so for using this e variable, we will be using f string here. Okay, and error will be writing a message first. So error due to, and then the variable name. So variable name has to be inside this curly braces. So the variable name is e. Okay, So you will be displayed with a message that error due to, and then whatever is inside this e variable. So whatever exception you'll get will be stored inside this e variable, and that will be displayed at this position. Okay, so this is how we receive the error here. Okay, so yeah, and I think I have made another mistake here. Okay, so let me just check what error I have made here. Oh shit. Yeah, I think I have entered all the values here, and then yeah, everything is fine here. Just see the source code. See, we are writing the same thing. Okay, I'm giving a mistake here. Everything is fine here. Let me just rerun this. And you guys have to rejoin this session again, okay? So let me just type again. Okay, yeah, so it's done. Okay, so registration successful.